going on, Metalheads? Thank you all for tuning into this week's episode of the Metal Forge, number 351. And oh shit, it's Halloween. And it's always fun to have a Halloween episode that just comes naturally, that you don't have to plan something extra for. This week's guest, you may know him from several different bands. Flesher, Ritual, Sacred Leather, Dustin Boltjes, also, you know, from previous bands, Skeleton Witch as well. You may have seen him play whacking and do a bunch of other cool fucking shit, which we're going to show one of those videos later on, I think. Dude, yeah. Dustin.
Hello.
Thank you for coming to the Metal Forge. How the fuck are you, my friend?
I'm doing pretty good. Just, you know, a nice little chill Sunday after some Halloween festivities over the weekend, so...
Yeah.
And we're not even to Halloween yet. So.
And by the time we're recording this, it's the Sunday before, and you know, that's what I love about this whole month anymore, is it almost seems like, especially in the metal scene, that from the beginning of the month to the end of the month, you always have Halloween shows.
It's all celebrated.
And I dig that, because obviously, you know, here I am, look at the Metal Forge, you know, there's, as I was saying before, there's skulls, there's candles, there's He-Man and Skeletor.
You don't look too far removed from like being in almost like in the Crypt Keeper's lair from Tales from the Crypt.
Dude, I mean, honestly, I've carved out a pretty cool little thing here, and it's nice, you know, because I get to come on and talk to people like you know, proprietors of a scene and establishment, to being a musician, playing music, you know, being from whatever. I've recently heard this term a lot, and it's like, it's time to take it fucking back, and it's called flyover country. And the Midwest, you know, that's a thing that, you know, we're called flyover country apparently. And no, but like, there are so many cool fucking things that you can do. Like I said, you know, being a venue proprietor yourself, and booking shows and such, and just supporting in general. But anyways, we'll get to that in a minute. So dude, like, how's everything been? Just like, how are you?
I'm doing good, you know, just existing amongst the chaos like I do most of the time. Cause I got a lot of irons and a lot of fires. So, but yeah, doing great, you know, love the fall, love October, love anything Halloween related. So, you know, doing my fair share of watching horror films, and went to a haunted house attraction last night, and we had the Irvington Halloween Festival yesterday. So,
hell yeah. And it's just like that, you know, it's easy to have a cut these days. Hell yeah, man. So so Indianapolis, I basically know the broad strokes. I know about where places are. So where is the Irvington area?
So it is it's a little neighborhood east of downtown.
Okay.
And it's not a lot of people know about it, but it hosts the second largest Halloween festival in the United States every year. And this was year 79. It's been going on for that long. And so the people in this community, they really embrace everything Halloween. So, you know, tons of people, they decorate their houses, and people just go above and beyond for Halloween for the month of October here in Irvington. And then, again, like yesterday was the big festival. So,
dude, that's so fucking rad. Down here in Louisville, we've got a similar thing where there's a street. Well, there's a couple streets, but the main one, Hillcrest. They do Halloween on Hillcrest, where every house like does something on the street, and you'll have some neighbors that will interconnect and do like a little haunted house over 3 yards, and
that's awesome.
3 or 4 yards, and it's just totally cool stuff. You said it's been going on for 79 years, and you know, so I'm from a little town called Pekin, Indiana. If you're familiar with where Salem is, it's near there.
Okay.
So they have a 4th of July festival. It's like the oldest in like the state or some shit. And it's like some crazy number, but it kind of reminds me of that. And it makes me wonder, it's like 79 years. It's like, I bet there's people that have been to every year.
Probably,
you
yes.
know, because, a lot of
Oh,
Midwesterners, they don't leave. So,
no. Well, and this neighborhood is made up of a lot of elderly people who have been here a very long time.
oh, sure. See, and dude, stuff like that's so cool. And when when being a community leader, especially because, like we've said, you do book shows with Stranger Attractions Productions. Ice Hal has played some of that. Overload's played a show up there for that. My two bands, and countless fucking others. But like, so when you have just like other stuff like that to go to, also, that's what makes it worth it, I think.
Absolutely.
And it kind of, and just for the fun of it anymore, of just being able to sit there and say, hey, I'm hosting this over in next weekend at Black Circle or whatever,
Yeah.
or whatever venue you put into. And dude, that's cool. So awesome stuff. I mean, the Halloween season's kicking off. It's fun. It's doing
Yeah.
this thing. Did you dress up?
I didn't this year. Yeah, and only because we had some family with us, and so I just being more of a kind of a tour guide sort of role this
Sure.
year, it was better for me to just be myself and not something else. But I actually honestly prefer to go to the festival dressed up because then this is going to sound really antisocial, but then I don't have to talk to anybody because no one knows who the fuck I am. And I can
Yes.
just like wander around and like be creepy and just, yeah, and just kind of
Sure.
do my own thing.
Um, so since we're on the Halloween talk here, what was your favorite costume that you've ever done?
That I've ever done,
Yeah.
probably.
Oh, well, okay. So let's get okay. So split this, because obviously playing shows as a band, we always love playing Halloween shows because we get to dress up, and we could go and play as Kiss or some shit or whatever. But
Yeah.
no, okay. So as a child, what was your favorite Halloween costume that you did?
Um, oh man, it was so long ago. Probably I had this real like this was I was probably in seventh or eighth grade. I had found this really creepy, terrifying old man mask. And so I put on like some old man pajamas, with like the little like trapdoor thing in the back, and then wore this mask
Should
around.
then be called the crap door
Yeah,
instead
yes,
of
the
trap
crap
door.
exactly. Uh and I made this is going to sound awful being as young as I was, but I was kind of a little shit. I made this giant dick out of like I stuffed pantyhose and made it look like this giant dick that was hanging out of the pajamas and just like flopping around all over the place. And it was like probably horrifying to the younger kids that saw
For
me
sure.
walk by in it. But yeah, that memory sticks out as a kid, and then as an adult, um, I probably my Tim Capello
As an
costume.
adult, it was just a real dick. No.
Yeah, no, yeah, no. But when the year I did Tim Capello was probably my favorite adult costume I've done, which is the sax
Yeah.
man from the Lost
Yeah, I know
Boys.
who Tim Capello is.
You are aware, I'm sure. For
Oh
those that
yeah.
are
The
listening that are
Lost
not
Boys.
aware, but yeah, yeah. A friend of mine had like had a saxophone, so I had the piece that I needed, the
Sure.
ultimate piece, and then yeah, threw the
Because
costume
dude's
together,
really
and
just wearing like nothing other than like
yeah.
jeans, right?
Yeah, it was like no, not even jeans. It was just like some spandex pants
Okay.
and then like, like a chain around my neck and then like all greased up and shit. Yeah.
Which is pretty cool too, because you've actually featured Tim a few times at Black Circle.
I have. Yeah,
And
he's been there twice.
yeah, I
Yeah.
was gonna say it was either two or three,
Yeah.
and dude, that's cool stuff. Like, for how so playing in a band like Skeleton Witch, going from playing to work, doing major tours, doing and then coming home, settling down, doing the more curation of shows like that. How does it feel to go from being the one in those clubs every night playing and performing to coming back home and setting those up for other people, and then bringing in people ultimately like Tim, or doing things like you do also other cool stuff because you do like the Greasy Strangler showing.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm a metalhead at the core, and
Sure.
predominantly do the metal events. But yeah, I like to, I got interest in other things too, and weird movies and horror films, and I do like, I really like goth music and darker electronic music. So I try to do some events like that from time to time. And but to answer your question, how does it feel to go from one extreme to the other? It was like it was when I initially decided to slow down and and leave Skeleton Witch and not do the touring like crazy all the time. Uh, it was for a lot of personal reasons, so I kind of just needed that, and so I guess the timing just worked out to where when I made that jump, that was about the time that Stranger Attractions was starting to pick up some steam,
Sure.
and so it was really in like a weird sort of way, I guess, like just really good for my life to absorb that, and then just take my knowledge of just being an insane touring person, and injecting some of that into the club, just for like expectations and making sure that the club is up to standard for people, and that people will want to continue to come back, um, because I've certainly played my fair share of real shitholes in my lifetime.
Sure.
And so yeah, it was I guess, to answer your question, how did it feel? It was weirdly therapeutic in a way. Yeah, because I needed a change in my life, and it was like the right thing to do at the right time.
I get that. So, little background on my history here in Louisville is I I've pretty much booked shows since I was about 17 or 18, whether it be in, we rented out fire departments, we rented out Legion halls, we rented out park shelter houses because there were no venues for kids to play. You know what I mean? Because we just had bars and shit.
Yeah.
So going from that, and being in younger bands, or in the early 2000s, playing shows and stuff with those bands, and then going to booking a bigger venue in town, no longer there anymore, more that's another story. But like it is oddly therapeutic to make that change, and to actually start running shows as opposed to playing shows, and understanding the logistics of being a promoter versus just a player in a band.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and like, it was good. It's God, I had a path I wanted to go down with this conversation, and I started smoking weed and then forgot. But
All good.
no, basically, I mean, in a nutshell, like, it just I don't know, it feels good to like build a community. You know what I'm
Sure.
saying? So, Indianapolis, I feel like when I started kind of, get really taking things seriously, with the help of the venue Black Circle, I was just, it was in kind of a bad spot. It had a really bad reputation. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
just tourists is what I like to call them. These guys that they get into it for the wrong reasons, and then they fuck up. They do the wrong things. They don't pay bands. They like they they do things that put a bad name in people's mouth, and so people just stop coming to. Sorry, like I got distracted for a second because literally I think a bird just hit the window next to the
Oh
room I'm
shit.
sitting in. Yeah,
Oh my.
but yeah, so it was
I
it was a
watched your face just go
yeah, it was
and watch
crazy.
it. And you were just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I don't know where it's not laying on my deck, so it must have like not killed itself. But yeah, that was wild. Okay, anyhow, yeah, But yeah, so Indianapolis kind of had a bad rap, and so I was, with
And
my
that, sorry to interrupt, but
no, it's okay.
yes, you're absolutely right, because it just wasn't the venue, it was a lot of venues.
Yeah,
And there's a particular place that I don't think they're in business anymore. Emerson
yeah,
was really guilty of that too, of
yeah.
not paying bands. And shit, I remember fucking seeing Exodus there in like 2001.
Brother, I saw my first show there in 1992. I saw Suffocation and Crowbar there in 1994. I saw Cannibal Corpse there in 97. Um,
And they had good
yeah.
shows back then. you
Oh,
know
I mean, when I first started going to that place, it was like,
it
I
was the
mean,
place.
it was amazing because there was some other clubs that had closed down in Indianapolis that were doing the more underground stuff, and so this was my first taste of not only just like going to a club type show, but also like experiencing like a local scene and being like, oh my God, there's like bands here doing shit that sounds like Cannibal Corpse that I didn't even know about.
Now, okay, right there, when you first had that knowledge of a local scene, that there were bands, and local today in the internet world is kind of a whatever term, but back in the day it really meant something.
Yeah.
uh, but like when you noticed the before, like probably before, were you even playing instruments at that point?
I was just starting to play drums. I started playing
Okay,
drums when I was 14, and that same year was the first time I ever went to the Emerson Theater and saw like an all local band show.
sure. Dude, that's amazing. So like when you saw it and you started playing drums, it was the same year. Did you go with friend? Tell
Yeah.
everybody about that.
Yeah, so
Tell
yeah,
us
so
tell
just
me about your
went with
tell
a
me about your
couple.
first experience, Dustin.
Oh God. Yeah. Well, it lasted 30 seconds. No. No,
As do
no,
we
but
all.
no, but
You're not
but
18. Get the fuck out of
right.
here.
But no, a friend's mom drove a couple of us down, dropped us off on the curb at the fucking Emerson Theater in like what was it, kind of a sketchy part of town compared to what we were used to. But yeah, dropped us off
I
and
mean,
and
yeah, it's even from when I was going there, it was a sketchy part of town then.
yeah, yeah. I mean, nothing's changed. Yeah, it's still the same. But when you're like 14, when
Yeah,
you're
it is different.
it
But
was yeah. But we yeah. I mean, that first time the show, yeah, I'll never forget the show. It was a band called Blatherskite. It was a band called Cromlech, which they were actually from Tennessee, and then it was a band called Abattoir, which had members that went on to be in like Coffin Worm and Phil, the drummer. He's down in Texas now, and he's done a bunch of stuff. Like, yeah,
dude,
it's
you have completely just answered my next like row of questioning, counselor. Because I was going to sit there and say that's so cool that I it's like an echo chamber. Seriously, because
yeah.
same thing for me. I went to my first local show, and it was because a friend of mine who was a year older than me, who started singing for a band, and he's like, "You should come," and I was like, "Okay, cool." So I did, and it was fucking. It was at a. It was what was it? It wasn't even a venue. It was well, it was a venue, of course, but it was like it was like a rented space.
Hmm.
It was like a community center or some
Yeah.
shit. And back in the 90s, 80s and 90s, that's what people did, when
Yep.
there wasn't real venues to play. And and then I was hooked. And then it was just like the following year, we all were just like, hey, what are you getting for Christmas? My mom and dad are going to get me a guitar. It's like,
Yeah.
fuck. We should
Yeah.
let's all ask our parents for instruments for Christmas, and we can start a band.
Yep.
And that's how it is, dude. Like crazy stuff like that. So
Yeah.
fast forward, here we are. You've been through a crazy amount of bands that are so good bands. Demetrius. Now we're looking
Demiricus.
Demeric. Oh,
I gotta correct you on that. Yes,
see, and
because
that is
it
such a
happens
common thing.
it happens a lot with that band. So I always got to nip it in the bud when I hear it.
Damn. So
I
no, dude, no, thank
you
you.
wouldn't believe the way I've heard that name pronounced. Like how many different
Oh, I'm
ways?
sure you hear
Yeah.
Demetrius and shit too.
Oh, I mean Demaricius, Demetrius, uh, Democritus. Like I mean, the
Dude,
list just goes on and on.
I mean, honestly, I get it. I mean, I
It's a
have a band.
completely
Listen,
made up word. It doesn't mean anything.
that's cool though. I
Yeah.
mean, because
So I can see why people would not really know how the fuck to say it. They're like,
sure.
what the hell word is this?
So where did where's the genesis from then?
That's a story for Nate Ulp.
Okay.
Uh who yeah, because I believe he was the one that came up with the name, and I don't really know where from, but yeah, he just made up this name because they had started as a band. I was not the original drummer of that band.
Okay.
So they, they named the band before my time came along in it.
Sure, sure.
But yeah.
I actually picked up here recently. I picked up what the second album maybe over an indie CD and vinyl,
Oh,
and
very nice.
yeah, and it was just in there, and I was like, holy shit, I need to get this. I think it was marked 666, which
Perfect.
dude, like everything I've ever purchased in that store has been for 666. I think I picked up
Awesome.
a Black Sabbath album like a Japanese import of Cross Purposes is what it was.
Nice.
So all the liner notes are in Japanese, but
Sweet.
it was 666. It's cool shit just around.
Yeah. Great record
Um,
store too.
and I had an idea of where I was going with this, and I think it was to the point of saying, so where we got going now? I mean, where are we at with Flesher? I
So
mean, Flesher is
Fletcher.
about to do some touring, right?
Yep, Fletcher's got some stuff coming up. We got a small tour coming up next month, and also before the weekend before that starts, we're playing a show out in Los Angeles. It's just got a little one-off thing we're doing that we are very excited about because we're playing with Mortician
Ooh.
and Gruesome, which we all like in this band adore that band.
Oh yeah.
Uh, and all those guys in that band and gal in that band are phenomenal people. So we're really, really looking forward to hanging out with them again and playing with them. But yeah, so we have the tour coming up after that with a band called Cartilage from the West Coast. Very cool little Midwest run.
Mm-hmm.
It's six shows. And we've had some issues with just things kind of getting pushed back for the next release, but it is about to see the light of date. It'll be out in November. The first single is coming out on November 4th.
Ooh,
Uh,
so a couple days
which
from by the time this drops.
Yeah, yeah, so very soon, exactly. And it will be with a video which we filmed at Black Circle that we are very stoked on and excited to show
So
everybody what we
that's
did.
what the casting call a couple of months was for.
That was it.
Yeah, I see
Yeah.
what's going on here.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, and the video's been finished for a while, and like we said, we've just been like chomping at the bit to get this shit out. But when you're working with a label, there's always a method to the
The
madness
timeline.
and a timeline, and you have to just kind of sit and wait. Uh, but yeah,
Dude,
so
even
that's
when you're
what's
not working with a label, it can be that way.
absolutely.
Just because when you're working with other musicians or anybody outside of yourself, because if it's a DIY thing and you're doing it all yourself, like so, there's some people that do that,
Hmm.
but like then you can only blame yourself. But if you have one other person involved, uh, you're on their timeline too. And
Yeah,
so yeah, so working with a label, working with other people, yeah, the timeline gets skewed so bad, and
absolutely.
it almost seems like it seems like because COVID happened and that skewed the timeline for people originally because of vinyl production and things like that. I think it's something that we haven't recovered from, not just the production aspect, because that's clear now, but like on the timeline, because people had to sit on albums then for like a year and a
Yeah.
half because it was going to be a next big release. And then they had new music that had to come out. And so it's just pushed everything back.
Yeah. The industry is just as a whole, I think is the most fucked it's ever been, honestly, like right now.
Well, you almost just have to fucking take a dart and throw it at the calendar.
Yep, pretty
I mean,
much.
because it's just like, Icehouse just kind of went through that. We announced our part one EP, and it was just like same day. Friends, Idle Throne announced theirs, and it's like, well, shit, everybody's fucking throwing shit out at the same time.
It's a constant rat race to
Mm-hmm.
be to exist in the underground realm of the well, I mean, in any aspect of the music industry, but in the underground realm, it's a constant battle, and just one that if you got to just keep doing it for the love of it, because it's really
Sure.
hard to get any real payoff anymore, unless you can afford to go out on the road and road dog it like crazy, and not all of us can do that.
No, no, not all of us can do that because dude, I'm not being able to do that. I can possibly send, I work for all intents and purposes a 9 to 5. I work
Yeah,
my 46 hours a week or whatever, and I come home and I do this on and play in bands on the side. Pretty much just as anybody who does anything that's not living off of it.
yeah,
And that's one of the things that I always try to tell people when they're in bands that you've got to understand where the place is, where your lane is, and
yep,
yes, you can switch lanes, but you have to know how to, and you have to know when to,
yeah,
because you can't just be in the slow lane and jump fucking 6 lanes of traffic and still be driving the same speed in the fucking fast lane, because it just doesn't fucking work.
yep.
It's
Amen.
like, well, and it's just like it's like sometimes it's like you got to realize that it's just like whenever you hear of bands that do go on tour constantly, um I'll throw Satan out there. Satan over the last few years has been touring a lot.
Yeah,
Europe, Europe, States, back and forth, South America, you know, so on and so forth, Australia. They've been doing the thing. They've been living the life. Like, not everybody can do that though. But having that resurgence helps.
yeah,
So finding out how to do it, I guess,
yeah,
is where it's at. But you also, not only with Flesher, picking, like I said, picking the lane and finding out where you need to go, like that one-off show. Yeah, that's definitely worth it. And dude, Flesher is a fucking kick-ass band, and it's well deserved for you guys. I mean,
thank you.
I enjoy it. I mean, shit, you all played a birthday show of mine.
Yes, we did. It was a good one.
uh, And dude, I still want to get that. I want to do do that again. All of those bands were fucking killer.
Yeah, it
Uh,
was a great night.
um, Tombstoner, yeah,
Wicked band.
sweet dudes. They're
Love,
they're they're
love,
they're
love
fun.
those guys. Yeah,
Uh,
whoever's listening to this, go check out Tombstoner. They're a
yeah,
fantastic
and
band.
they've been here before, and we had to do the interview twice because the audio was so bad the first time
Oh
that
man,
I was like, dude, I cannot make this work. We have to schedule something new. And it was fucking so much more unhinged the second time.
awesome.
Love those dudes. But also Sacred Leather. Uh,
Hmm.
okay, so a lot of people know you, Death Metal Dustin, because you are a big big name in the death metal scene, I think, still to this day. And but Sacred Leather's different. It scratches the traditional heavy metal itch.
It is,
So
yeah, and it gets my ass out from behind the drum set too, and
yeah,
like which is nice, and also nice to not be responsible for a fucking giant drum set all the time. Uh, I always tell people I'm like the reason I started singing in bands is because I wanted to stop being responsible for all the gear. Uh,
dude, I know somebody else who said that too.
but but yeah, so Sacred Leather is heavy metal to its fucking core.
Sure.
Yeah, and yeah, we have a new record coming out very soon in like fuck, it's about less than 6 weeks at this point. Um, and so we got a bunch. So I just played in St. Louis on Friday, and we got to, there's the only other show we have coming up so far is the release show in Indianapolis on December 12th. That's the day the record comes out. But we've been working on a really crazy, crazy video
Sure.
that will be out in the first or second week of November.
Hell yeah. So being into okay, so I'm into completely different bands also like that. I know you've also got a few other things going on as well. So when you're going between bands and releases and things like that, it's like, so do you ever get the confusion of like saying, "Oh shit, that's supposed to be, oh hang on, my bad. This is for this thing, this is for this." Do you ever get that? And
I live in constant fear of that happening, but somehow it never has happened. And my fucking insane whirlwind tornado ass brain somehow manages to keep all that shit together.
okay.
So yeah, I can say very confidently, although I am always maybe that's why it doesn't happen, is because I'm so worried about it happening.
Sure, I can get that. Now,
So I try to be very on top of that part of my life, if I can, because there's a lot, it's I mean, I'm in currently in 6 active bands. They are different levels of activity, but I have to be very methodical about where I put things, and and like you said,
okay, so
which lane each band.
I've only mentioned two actives right now. So
Yes. Mhm.
go ahead and tell everybody out there what other active
Okay.
bands could they see you in?
Okay, so then we have Flusher, we have Sacred Leather, and then we have Ritual, which is the band. It's a black death metal band, extreme metal band, um, that I am doing with Ben and Scott from Demiricus. And then there's The Secrecy, which is more like a post-punk, kind of more early Killing Joke, but I mean even like into the more kind of new wave kind of stuff.
Cool.
That is a pretty low key project. Like we have a record written that we're finishing up, and that stuff, but it's never going to be a band that's going to like play out live a lot. More than anything, just there's not really a big scene for it around here. So there's not really
No,
an opportunity for us, to do a lot of stuff other than just write and record music, which is cool because all the guys in the band seem to be pretty happy with doing things that way. So
sure.
there's that. There's Tomb Stalker, not to be
Yeah.
confused with Tombstoner, from Lexington, Kentucky, which are friends of
Yeah.
mine, that I've known for a while. I had them on Heavy Hell one year. I've known Anton in particular in the band for a long time, um, and they were in a position where they wrote a really great record, and they needed a drummer, and so I started learning the material, and it just really like I really grew on me quickly, and I love it. I love the material. I'm really excited about the record, and and so I guess it's another active band I'm in because here I am.
Hey,
I am playing more shows with them than any of my other bands other than Flesher in the near future. So yeah. So
I
that's
mean, there's
let's see.
nothing, dude. That's cool. I mean,
That's number
music gets you out
five.
there, right? Yeah.
That's five, right? Okay. So what is the sixth? Um, what is
Well,
the
I don't know how
sixth?
true it is, but the Metal Archives lists Christ beheaded.
Yeah. What I mean, we never officially put that thing in the grave, but but it's, I mean, it's probably never gonna exist again.
You
But we kind
watch
of,
now tomorrow. This by the time this when this gets dropped, somebody
yeah,
from the archives will listen to this and will
it,
fucking cancel it out. They'll
yeah,
put split up
probably.
on there. Now that you've said it,
Yeah. Well, that project was always supposed to be like we wanted to keep it this kind of super cult thing, and we only played a handful of shows. And I mean, Bob Fouts, rest in peace. He's no longer with us. He was a part of the band, but he was a major part of the band. He helped us write a lot of that stuff, but also he recorded the little EP, the only thing we ever we ever put out. Uh,
sure.
and Yeah, so I've always wondered that why, like, the band has not done shit in like 15 years, but yet on Metal Archives it says we're
It
still
says
active.
active.
Uh,
Hey,
so yeah,
somebody just let you know that whoever, dude, anybody who's anybody can get on there and edit things and add and stuff. But like
yeah,
that's to me, that's somebody that's such a fan of it that they wish that you would have something come back out. So,
yeah.
dude, look at it that way and say, you know what?
Well, and
That's cool.
honestly, like Mike, who was the other guitar player, who Mike from he's in Sacred Leather. Um, he has written like a ridiculous amount of really great black metal. I'm like, I always kind of nudge him. I'm like, dude, you should just put this shit out. It's like Christ beheaded. Just say it's the next Christ beheaded shit. Because why the fuck not? So we'll see. Maybe that will happen. But to finish the list, I guess the sixth one would just be Dead, which is like my more cinematic John Carpenter synth wave, like all synthesizer based music that I do.
Hell yeah.
And I perform live very once in a blue moon with that. And it's more just like a passion project sort of thing. But Sean from Wise Blood is going to put out the record once I finally finish it. Who knows when that will be, but
Dude, Sean's such a sweetheart.
it's the
You know,
best.
he
Talk
is.
about somebody else who has really like helped this city grow
Oh, sure.
as far as like the the heavy music scene goes. I mean, he has done just as much work as I have on his part with everything he's done with Wise Blood Records. And yeah,
No, you're absolutely
that
right.
man is a saint.
He very much is. And dude, like just like, a wealth of knowledge. Just
I mean, I feel like I owe him so much because he's done so much for me, like in all my bands, the Black Circle, and and like, yeah, I can't praise Sean enough. He fucking rules.
absolutely. Dude, and such a cool dude. We actually for a few months we had done a few episodes where he I and Jason from the Alehorn podcast were getting together and like, hey, be on the lookout for these albums. This is what I found out this month. This is what I like. So
Nice.
yeah, and then of course things go crazy for everybody.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, so those are some of the funnest episodes that I'd ever put out, I think, or just like
Awesome.
finding out what other people get into. And it may not be The Night Eternal was one of that he recommended that I've been like on radar ever since, and it's just like bam, so cool. And honestly, Castle Rat was one
Yeah.
that he turned me on to before their first album came out.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I remember him talking about that band before the
mhm.
record came out, and like,
And
yeah,
then
he
he
really
ended up
hyping it
putting
up.
out one
And
of the variants.
Yeah. Hmm.
And dude, that's total cool shit. But anyway, so hell yeah, new Flesher coming out soon, new Sacred Leather coming out soon, other bands new albums coming out soon. Tombstalker.
Tombstalker has a record finish, so it's just a matter of when the label is giving us the green light on this on the release date for that. Ritual has we have a full record written, so we're just going to focus on that on recording that over the winter.
Hell yeah,
Um, and then, like I said, if I ever can finish these other projects, I'll finish the Dead record, and Sean can Sean can finally
Sean can
put
put it
that
out.
out. We've been
And
talking about putting that out since like 2020 basically, because I wrote all that most of that shit during the pandemic when I was just like in sheer isolation. Uh,
sure,
and so I yeah, so it's some cool. Oh shit, I don't know what I just did. There we go.
uh,
Uh
you're good.
there it's just some cool vibey, spooky, atmospheric shit, you know.
Hell yeah.
Um and yeah, and then the secrecy with the record is pretty much finished. We're working on artwork now, and then we're just gonna self-release that. So we'll just release that whenever we do.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, that sounds awesome. Like so much cool shit going on. You got so much cool shows coming up too, not just from performing, but at Black Circle with Stranger Attraction, so many cool shows coming up.
Oh
Uh,
yes.
dude, like, I was gonna say something and now I've fucking lost my train of thought. Oh, I would still like another Wretch record.
Dude, I mean we it sucks that it like kind of just went out fizzled out the way it did because we did have a
Sure.
really great record written. And there's I don't know. I mean, every time I talk to either of those guys, it's like we'll just be like, yeah, one day we'll just track the record, like because it's all documented in one way, shape, or form.
Sure.
Uh, and so who knows? I would love to see another Retch record too, whether I play drums on it or Chris, the original drummer, came back and played drums on it, whatever. I would love to see a new
Yeah.
Retch record.
I mean, like, yeah, such a good band.
Oh
Uh,
yeah. Yeah, I see Carl from time to time and he's still doing the Gates of Slumber and yeah,
sure.
but they just they're they're kind of functioning at a turtle space right now. I think they're just more the guys just all kind of got stuff going on in their lives and they can only dedicate so much to it right now.
Dude, back in the day, I think a lot of people kind of were like, ugh, about when stuff like that would happen, they'd get kind of like, yeah, he just doesn't want to do it or whatever. But it's like I think as we've grown as people, we kind of understand it's like, hey, breaks are needed.
Yeah,
You know
they
that.
when you and I are we're the elders now, so it's like
Yeah,
we've been grinding for a while, and it's you got to give your brain and your body a break from it from time to time because it's I mean when you're playing metal music, you're already working against the physics behind what your body is supposed to do, like
dude.
you know.
And I'm glad that you say that because you're segueing perfect into derailed, which is the random question segment. Because I always get some kind of philosophical questions in there as well, and mental health questions. Because as you know, as I've gotten older, I've kind of taken that chill out. That hey,
Mhm.
chill the fuck out, and it's like you can't just hammer every single day. You got to fucking have time to relax.
Yep.
And, so when you do stuff like that, it's like you got to have people in your corner ultimately.
Hmm.
So to you, who who is the most important person you have in your corner? And what is the importance of having people in your corner?
Who is the most important person in my corner? Like you're asking me that question? Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, I would just have to say my girlfriend because my partner because she's ultimately takes more of the blows than anything when it comes to the chaotic life of doing all the band stuff and being busy and busy and busy and busy, because she just like, well, she's the one that's like, well, I'll be here when you get home. you know, and holds the fort down, like, and also just as a sense of like peace for me in a chaotic life.
Sure.
Um, so, so I would have to say her. Yeah, she's a fantastic human being, and she definitely keeps me sane. But as far as just and then what the second part of the question was the
How important
importance.
is, yeah, like how important is it to have people who are in your corner?
Yeah, I mean, it's like when it's you always need your friends and your family to hold you up when when you're feeling down or low or whatever. But especially like I think being, and I hope this doesn't sound selfish, being like from an artist perspective or like, or like egotistical, but I mean, being creating art is it's like a blessing and a curse. And so it can make you kind of crazy. So um
Yeah. I
it
mean, look at people like Sid Barrett.
yeah, which it made him truly crazy.
Yeah. Like
Uh
legitimately. And so much in fact that they wrote, you know, how many albums about him? At
yeah,
least four that I know
right.
of.
Yeah. Um
So
but yeah, so so being, from just answering this question strictly based from like myself and who I am and how crazy I can be at times. Yeah, it's just important to have like that support, whether it be one person in particular, whether it be a group of people, whether it be your fans that just love your music, like it's like it's absolutely detrimental to keeping your brain from imploding.
for sure. Absolutely. I could get behind that 100%
Yeah.
because
Hopefully
yeah,
that hopefully that answered it answered the
yeah,
question
because
that you were asking.
yeah, I think so because you're just, having somebody else there, even just being as a soundboard for just, even if it's just,
I
even
was
if it's
waving to my
just,
girlfriend. She was walking by.
oh, cool.
Yeah.
Talking about you.
Yeah.
Shout
Her ears
outs.
her ears are probably burning right now. She's like, what's this motherfucker in there saying about me?
Probably blames me for
Yeah.
everything. No. No, I think it's, even if it's just somebody, even that you just, even text good morning back and forth every day,
Yeah.
and just knowing that, there's somebody else out there that you're not alone. I think that's the importance of it. And then, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely right. But,
Yeah, and which like bridging that to what you say, which kind of ties to the the initial reason why we're both here and we're both discussing is just the world of heavy metal and like how that unity kind of brings people together and creates like a safety net for all of us to feel like we belong somewhere because most people into darker music and art and stuff like that, when you're coming up, either you had parents that were very supportive and were cool, or you had ones that were like, you're going down the wrong path, what are you doing with this devil music,
yep,
uh, and so it's just on a global level when it comes to just this scene as a whole, like it's important. It's important to know that you are like you're always welcome.
absolutely. No, 100%. Icy or slushy?
I'm gonna say slushy because I my favorite slushy I've ever had. It was when Revenge of the Sith came out.
Hell yeah.
And they and 7-Eleven had this fucking Darth Vader slushy that was so fucking good. And I've never had it since. And it
That
was like
cherry limeade slushy was pretty
it
fucking good, wasn't
it
it?
was it was like a blue raspberry kind of flavor, but it had some other things going on. And it was, yeah, I've never quite tasted anything like it. And I mean, I don't drink a lot of stuff like that, unless it's like vacation frozen cocktail kind of thing, But but yeah, that I would just, if I had to choose, it would be that slushy that I could just have for an eternity because it was so fucking delicious.
Hell yeah. Sloppy Joes or Philly cheesesteak?
I'm gonna have to go with sloppy joes just because of where I'm from. I would probably rather eat a Philly cheesesteak, but ultimately, dude, that's just that was the shit when I was a kid coming up, and we didn't have a lot of money, and so like when you were having sloppy joes,
Now,
you were
are you actually from
stoked.
Indiana?
Yeah, yeah, right here in Indianapolis. Well, I mean, Plainfield is a
Yeah,
little
sure, sure.
suburb west of, and that's where I grew up, and
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
Okay. So,
that and
yeah,
Sloppy Joe just feels Midwestern to me,
it is. Uh,
whereas Philly cheesesteak, is East Coast. So
so, tidbit here in my young life, I agree 100%. Sloppy Joe, manwich, whatever you want to call it.
yeah,
Same thing. At least here in Indiana, it's the same thing.
yes,
Might not be anywhere else, but it is. Uh, and dude, going to my family, we did dirt track racing. Okay. And every Friday night, mom would make a big fucking thing of sloppy joes, manwich, whatever you want to call it, and
hmm
we would take it to the racetrack. And it was like,
nice.
and it was so much better after it was fucking cold. But it is such a Midwest thing,
It is.
and it
It certainly
particularly, I think
is.
it's an Indiana thing.
Oh yeah,
And
definitely.
yeah, so for sure, I totally get that. Ghost stories or urban legends?
Uh, I think I'm more a ghost story person.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, I could get that. Again, probably an Indiana thing because
yeah,
we have a lot of wilderness ghost story stuff here,
yeah, definitely. Yeah,
especially with Hoosier National Forest.
yeah, yep, for sure. But yeah, I think I'm more of a ghost story person.
One more in the this or that's volunteer time or donate money.
Volunteer time because I'm poor. And I can't,
Understandable.
and
No,
I don't have money to donate. And plus, I mean, volunteering time it's important to like just not be selfish with your time all the time.
sure. No, absolutely. And because I think donating time where obviously the monetary value of things does have its place. And especially when you're donating to a place that's possibly got a shithead landlord and trying to evict them for no reason, and just because he's a fucking shithead landlord or whatever, and that thing, they're donating the money, of course, or whatever is for that. But like the time, yeah, because I think it as people we get more out of it for ourselves as well,
Yeah.
because of the feeling good about helping others,
hmm
you know and I guess that's what soul cleansing, I guess, is what that is.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's just an important to and I mean I'm just as guilty of it as of not doing it as much as I should, but it's important to be uncomfortable. Does that make sense to you? Like to come out
So
to come out of your comfort zone a little bit. I
sure,
feel like it makes you a stronger human to interact in situations that you don't necessarily feel 100% comfortable in.
yeah, absolutely. And I think that's where real growth happens,
Yeah, for sure.
whether and that can be shifted into any aspect of life, whether it be your art, your your willingness to become uncomfortable with things,
Yeah.
to grow. That could be your art. That could be, going out and helping at a food bank or a homeless shelter or a halfway house, or, you know, or whatever the case may be. If you are religious, going out and doing it there,
hmm
if you're not, just helping out Yeah, I totally get that. So making yourself uncomfortable, opening yourself up to the possibility of that to be able to grow as a person is, I think, yeah, is where it's at.
Yeah, it's just there's so many different walks of life that just don't ever clash. And then when they do, there's all this like tension. And it's just like it'd be so much cooler if people could just for a second just maybe be like, oh, well, maybe this person had a really shitty day, and that's why they're being kind of pissed off, So maybe I should just like
Sure.
not poke the bear, but just try to be more understanding, or maybe I should do something nice for that person, like I don't know, whatever, like
Yeah.
open a door for him
So,
to go into a gas station, like just anything, like
and yeah, absolutely. And with the way how there's so much volatility out there today, just like, getting it on like that geopolitical spectrum of things, that any number of things can cause any kind of thing. But yeah, just like chilling the fuck out and just being like, maybe this person just had a real shit day.
yeah,
Maybe their boss is
because
just as much of a dickhead as yours is.
yep, yep. So yeah, and I just try to, I try to be, like I'm just as guilty as anybody else of being mad and fussy and pissing and moaning because you had a bad day. But it's like, yeah, I just try to be as mindful of that as I can when dealing with other people and crossing those paths, and being like we had talked about earlier, just about being outside of your comfort zone.
Sure. Is there a particular part of history you would like to learn more about?
Um,
And not even say history. Is there any aspect of what of interest that you would like to learn more about?
yeah, I would like to learn more about just like the history of
Of the world part two?
yeah, Mel Brooks, where you at? No, no, just honestly the history of synthesizers. It's going to sound really dorky, but it's like
Oh, hell no,
that
no, dude. That's some
that's
cool
something
shit.
I would really love to be able to dedicate the time to knowing more about because I'm just so fascinated by them. So
Dude, like I have a friend and he's been up to a few shows up at the BC there with me. And like he does a thing called fingernails. It's FNGRNLS. Okay. And it's really fucking cool because it is the way that is done. It sound engineering that, okay, so like I know this, like
yeah,
all of this, but to be able to make make a sound,
yeah,
adjusting knobs, and yes, learning more about that would be amazing.
it's
And it's
just the one. It's the
unfortunate that
one.
Moog
Yeah,
is no longer in the States.
I know. Well, yeah, I think, my fascination just stems from like, I feel like just electronic music and electronic instrumentation, synthesizers are, it's the only part of music that's still evolving.
Sure.
It's like, I mean, rock and roll is not really evolving anymore. Heavy metal is not really evolving anymore. It's just everyone just kind of respinning their own take on what has already happened and what they've learned from their predecessors. And whereas
Yes.
like there with synthesizers, I feel like it's just like an endless realm
Sure.
of evolution as to I mean, because who knows where it's going to go. I mean,
And
it's getting terrifying, honestly, with some of the AI shit. But
very much like, dude, I watched a Rick Beato video the other day where he did that, like a just a on the free form of Chat GPT, like completely put in like some prompts, and it was just like really, he was like, holy shit, Like it was
It's
bare bones.
wild.
It was bare
Yeah.
bones, whatever, but like straight up Americana music or whatever. But like you really wouldn't have known had he not done anything.
Yeah.
And and with the crazy thing that's out there today with like Spotify, apparently in the last month has purged like 7 billion songs that were considered AI.
Wow.
7 billion songs is something. It was some astronomical number that way that was on their,
That is
that
fucking
they were doing.
insane.
That shit was just getting play on playlists, paying out fucking fractions of cents to people because they were
Yeah.
playing playlists at dance parties and raves and shit. Wild stuff these days. So yeah,
Man,
when you
dude.
say
Yeah.
the weirdness of like, and the scariness of like with AI out there, it's like shit. It's like at some point, is that what's going to end up being the next Rush album? You know what I'm saying? Is
Yeah.
like, or
In all actuality, it could, because there's going to be a point where Geddy Lee and Alex Lifeson are dead, and then
yeah. Well,
there could very well just be AI versions
so
of
look
what.
at
Yeah.
it like this. Take this concept for example. Guar. Dave Brocky had the idea of Guar based off of Kiss because of Kiss's member changes.
Hmm.
But up until up until the early 2000s, did Kiss not replace Ace and Peter as with Tommy Thayer and Eric Singer
Yeah.
as those
Yeah.
personas? They like Eric Carr had his own the Fox,
The Fox. Yeah.
the Ankh Warrior with Vinnie Vincent,
Yeah.
and such. But the way Dave said was like, okay, so I'm going to create the same kind of people, characters. And if so and so gets fired, he wants to leave the band, that character is still technically a member of the band.
Hmm.
So it was an ever evolving member group.
Infinite. Yeah.
Yeah. So you could effectively live forever with Guar, and it has. With
Yeah.
it
I mean,
has since
it's
lived
pretty
without Dave.
genius. Yeah.
Yeah, it's such a great idea. And think of bands like Kiss now, where they sold the rights to everything for the band, to like Music Now or whatever out of Sweden,
Yeah.
350 million dollars. Bob Dylan selling his catalog to Sony, the Beatles selling to Apple, and all of that. At a point in time when Paul and Ringo are gone and Bob Dylan's gone and all of the members of Kiss are gone, what's going to stop these companies that own these rights to this music to not just put a prompt in there and say new Bob Dylan song or
Yeah.
new Kiss song, and it's like an AI generation?
I mean,
Or they say
I think it's coming, dude. I think
that's such a scary thing to think
I
about.
think you're right on track with it, man. And I just the only saving grace is I just feel like as long as humans can outsmart them on the stage, we still got a leg up on them,
Yeah,
because people are always going to love live music.
sure.
And
Absolutely.
we, as long as they don't beat us at that game, then
And I will be way outspoken on this. I will, and honestly, from a promoting aspect, is the only reason why. But the place where where you just said, if we continue to have a leg up because of live music, because people still want to go and see bands, they still want to hear music, they want to feel it in their chest, and let fucking mosh and let shit out. Yeah, they still want to do that. But where that leg gets cut off is national promotion companies. National promotion companies that only promote 4-day festivals
yeah.
that lock out entire regions for a year at a time. Take with
Yeah.
that who you think. Take
Yeah.
with that
No.
who you think I'm talking. And
Yeah.
this is me addressing the audience here, not just you, but take from that what you will and who you think it might be about, and it's probably about that person because I live in a city where that happens,
Yeah. I mean,
and it's
yeah, it happens.
unfortunate.
It happens here too. It's happening. It's like, there's only Black Circle will continue to survive because we are very fortunate enough to have a community behind us that
Yes,
will not let us go under.
yeah,
But
absolutely. Same thing with
but
Magbar. Same thing with all of your little what people would at one point in time refer to as your dive your hole in the wall, your
yeah,
local neighborhood bar.
yeah.
You know, yeah.
But it's certainly getting. I mean, dude, I literally confirm shows with agents, and then I see that show announced, and it is not at my venue, and I'm like, wait, what? Okay, I guess I got underbid, and they just decided not to tell me.
See,
So,
and that's insane. So speaking of things like this, adds to the next question. What are some newbie mistakes in our industry that you could point out to people and say, hey, these are mistakes that most people make. Try not to.
I mean, I don't want to sound like I'm like, Mr. Know-it-all, because I'm certainly not. I'm always learning, because the game is
Sure.
always the game is always changing.
Day to
Uh,
day.
but I mean, I would say the most important thing is just like try to stay on top of your shit. Just be as organized as you can be, because this is what's happening. The industry is very messy. There's too many people doing half-ass jobs in this industry, and so it's really messy. And then this is why things like this happen, where I confirm with an agent, and then I find out when the tour gets announced that it went to somebody else.
Sure.
There's a major lack of communication. So I would just say, it's very important to be thorough and just try to. And I'm just as guilty of being uh like fumbly at times too, because we all are. As you know, when you're booking, I mean, fuck, I book 250 events a year. so
Sure.
so it's like, it at times you get a little messy, and I mean, I honestly, like, I I sympathize for these booking agents, because I'm like, I do it for one city. I can't imagine doing it for multiple cities, for multiple bands, and dealing with the bureaucracy of like all this fucking hoopla of Live Nation trying to capitalize everything. And
Oh yeah,
uh
and and honestly, that's a big thing. And you know, so it's funny that you say that because I saw an appreciation post for somebody earlier. And yeah, total Jarvis Leatherby. Shout out
yeah.
to
Hmm.
Jarvis. He does so much fucking shit. And like again,
Yeah,
being a band.
never met him, but I've chatted with him over email several
Sure,
times.
yeah,
Yeah.
but like doing the thing, like you're saying,
Mm.
finding out about, he's booking tours for bands, multiple bands. And it's just like, fuck. It's like talking about keeping the band straight earlier. It's like
Yeah.
keeping that straight.
I couldn't
When you're
imagine. I could not imagine doing a booking agent's job. Like, I would never do it. This is as
sure.
far by being working for one club, and like, well, not one club, because I do things in ever other clubs, but predominantly one club, one
Yeah,
city
one
is
city.
my max. I don't want to go beyond that.
Sure. Oh no, like I've booked in multiple clubs in the same city, and it does get fucking tedious and painstaking. So
Yeah.
yeah, just like stay on top of it. That's a for a piece of advice that you could give to people that could help curtail some newbie mistakes. Yeah, stay
Yeah.
on top of it. Write shit down.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the
I mean,
take notes.
I've had to, it's a like I said earlier, a minute ago, it's a constant learning experience with me in this line of work every day because you have to adapt and evolve with it because it shifts so frequently.
Oh, so like one of my favorite things that ever happened was no going into working with bands that everybody knowing going into it, it was the ticket thing. Not that you had to sell so many or you didn't play, but it's like to okay, well, they're gonna let us book here. You've got to make sure you're gonna fucking bring people. That's how
Yeah.
you're gonna get paid, kind of thing. Uh how many people, it's like, you want this, it's on a Thursday, dude, you all got to make sure you fucking can bring the people. How many do you think you can bring? Give us 100.
Yeah.
That's what they asked for. They asked, but I
Oh
gave them.
man.
I was like, "Are you fucking sure? Because if I don't get these back, I'm on the line for it.
Yeah.
The way the venue is." Totally took fucking half of them and threw them in the trash
Oh wow.
on me. I was so fucking pissed.
Damn. Yeah,
I later found out that their drummer shot their girlfriend in the face.
what the fuck?
Yeah.
Okay, well, there's probably you probably, for lack of better words, dodged a bullet there. So,
Literally. I tried not to say it. You did. Oh God. So what were you gonna say? I'm sorry I interrupted.
I don't even know. Once you brought up the whole thing about getting the girl getting shot in
Yeah.
the face, I'm
Dude,
like,
it was
holy
fun.
shit!
It was like a serious,
Over a
and
local
I didn't
band
find
on
out
some
until like
fucking crazy shit, man.
and I didn't find out it happened until like 4 years after it happened. And
Yikes!
dude tried to claim self-defense or whatever, but like she was like 95 pounds and he was like 250.
Yeah,
And like, yeah.
yikes!
Um, dude, I have one more question.
Yeah,
But before I get to it, as always, I say this every episode because it means the world. Thank you so fucking much for doing this. Thank you for
hell
doing
yeah!
what you do.
It's been
Thank you
a
for
long time coming.
it has been, dude. Like, honestly, I remember the first time meeting you in person. You were under the tent at the sound booth at Heavy Hell, and you didn't have anybody playing inside that year. It was all outside. I think it was two,
Okay.
and I came up for because I was meeting with Sean actually. He brought me up and was like, "Hey, dude, come check out the show. I think you're really gonna dig it," and I fucking did. And dude, like, so like that's been like, other than that, like you'd been on my radar with the Wretch album, like because I'd picked it up and then doing research and stuff. And then yeah, dude. So thank you so fucking much for doing this. Thank you for
Hell yeah!
promoting
My
shows.
pleasure.
Thank you for coming and playing shows. And just, dude, being an absolute professional, and just a big sweetheart overall.
I try.
I know you do, and dude,
But no,
it's
yeah,
seriously awesome,
it's the pleasure is all mine, man. It's great to be on your show, and thank you for doing what you do to help promote for all things metal.
dude. I try because, like, you know, in the Lemmy documentary, Lars said something about no, you can't be a Motorhead fan because there's no such thing as a Motorhead fan because it's a way of life. Being a Motorhead fan, and I think that it ultimately is the same way with metal in general. Is that
Yeah,
it's just a way of life, whether it just be whether you're into dark art or heavy music, or dude, you could be into Hank Williams and still be totally fucking metal because I think he was down to the core because he wrote
yeah,
some really fucking heavy shit.
yeah.
And, the Lost Highway in particular. But yeah, it's all about heavy culture. But dude, thank you so much. I appreciate it, and I'm glad you're here finally doing this. Yeah, it's just as I
Hell
said,
yeah,
it's a conversation based interview. So it's basically just getting together to say, hey, what's going on? What you got
yeah.
coming
It's
out? And
cool.
obviously, we learned some new Flesher, some some new sacred leather, and some new other stuff too. So fuck yeah. As always, links they're listed below. So give likes, shares, and follows. Go do all the things and all the stuff. Go see live. Go buy merch off of the Bandcamp pages. Go buy merch live when you see them, if they even have it, because it's probably already sold out at this point because you waited too fucking long. But anyways, we're always printing new merch because that's where it's at, dude.
Hell yeah.
Shout outs. Who do you have? Anything
Uh,
else you want to promote? Go for it.
I mean, just keep tabs on Black Circle, because that's my job, and that's how, I have to make a living, and so I can't, and that's how we keep the club open, is people get bodies going in the buildings for the show. So just keep tabs on that, and Stranger Attractions Indie as well. Um, and then yeah, I just want to shout out to the people who, the people who have been longtime supporters and fans, and even the newbies that I'm just now getting to meet, the people I interact with, like you, that we've just met over going to shows and whatnot. Yeah, just shout out to all y'all, because you keep me doing the shit that I want to do.
Absolutely. And likewise with this, getting to talk to people like you get me doing this, keeping me doing the shit I love to do. Hell
Hell
yeah,
yeah,
man.
brother.
That's exactly where it's at. And
Good shit.
honestly, so one of the cool things about Black Circle is the reach. I love the reach that it has because, in particular, I'll give a shout out, and unfortunately, I don't know their names, but we've spoken many times. It's a father son duo that always drive up from Evansville,
Oh yeah.
and
Yeah, I don't know their
you know who
names
I'm
either,
talking about.
but
But like,
I
they
know who you're
have
talking about. Yeah.
patches from bands that
Yeah.
have that's like, how do you know who they are? That's so cool. And
Yeah.
but yeah, total shout out to them. And like, and just to put some context on that, that's a 3 hour drive one way.
Yeah.
So for the Metal Forge listeners out there, watchers, listeners, whatever you're doing this on, like I said, that's a 3 hour drive one way, and to have a dedicated enough fan base to do that, I'm 2 hours away, and I'll come up for shows. So it hell yes.
Yeah, it's
Dude,
really great, just having, every time I go to a show at Black Circle, I 9 times out of 10 meet someone that's there from out of town.
sure. And that's
And,
rad as hell.
that's awesome to me, that, like, yeah, we're doing a good job, and we're making people want to travel because we have a good reputation, and it's a great place to see a show.
Hell yes, absolutely. So my final question of the day is, do you think we will ever in yours or possibly even my, because we're pretty close to the same age, uh in our lifetime, do you think we'll ever make contact with intelligent alien life?
Oh
Really?
man, I mean, I hope so. I would love to witness that before I go. I think that'd be pretty monumental
Sure.
um thing to witness, compared to a lot of bullshit that you and I have had to witness over the years. Like, let's make it something real cool. Uh
Yeah.
but but yeah, I don't know if we'll see it. I don't know, man. Weird shit keeps happening. And I'm like, are we just already existing in it and we just don't realize it?
Oh,
Is
like they
the,
live?
yeah, basically, yes.
Oh, fuck,
Uh,
for sure. Um,
um, because yeah, shit, it just keeps getting weirder and weirder. But yeah, I hope so. I hope we see it before the end of our lifetimes.
Hell yeah, dude. I do too. I I was talking with my mom the other day, and I said something like, at this point, I don't care if it's Mars attacks. I would
Same.
be
Yeah,
fine with it.
me too. Yeah, let's get it on, let's let's check it out. Let's see what's up.
Like, fucking, we come in peace.
I love that movie.
Dude, Dustin, thank you so fucking much. This has been
Oh yeah.
awesome. Awesome way to spend a Sunday evening for the last hour and a half or so. Dude, I think on our way out, I think I'm going to play some Sacred Leather.
Very sick.
Hell yeah. And so I've got a video here. It's a Spitfire at night.
That's it.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. You have a wonderful day.
Hell yeah.
Hey metalheads, you like tattoos? Of course you do. If you're in the Louisville, Kentucky area, come on over the bridge to Clarksville, Indiana, and get you some ink done at Ageless Art. If ink isn't your thing, they have a piercing studio as well. Visit agelessartclarksville.com to see some frequently asked questions, meet the staff. The shop is open Monday through Thursday, 12 to 8 p.m., Saturdays, 12 to 10 p.m., and Sundays, 12 to 6 p.m., all appointment-only spots. You can set up your appointments by phone at 812-283-1793 or email agelessarttattooandpiercing@gmail.com and someone will get you set up for your first or your next tattoo or piercing.
Hey metalheads, after going to a rager, what's your ultimate go-to? Mine is totally pizza. So when Overload is playing, or I'm promoting the Metal Forge live showcases, or the big goddamn metal show, I go to Pizza Donisi. Pizza Donisi is gourmet artisan pizza from right here in Louisville, Kentucky. It features things like the pizza of the month, the sandwiches, and also vegetarian and vegan options, which is so totally fucking cool for all of it's awesome pizza. You definitely want to go. Hey, and also from time to time they do cannolis. Oh, so fucking good. You know what they said, man? Leave the gun, take the cannoli. Yeah, just like that in Godfather. They're located right next to the Mag Bar at 1396 South 2nd Street. So either stop in or call in at 502-213-0488. They're open till midnight. The witching hour.
Heineken, fuck that shit. Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Hey metalheads, you all hear me talk about Mag Bar all the time. It is the home to the Metal Forge live showcases and is an integral stop in the Ultimate Underground Metal Tour schedule. They obviously feature live music, but the Mag Bar also has daily specials like Pint and Slice Night on Tuesdays with Pizza Donisi. But they also do Bring Your Own Vinyl on Thursdays with DJ Kent Jackson, and Finer Things Sundays. Located right next to Pizza Donisi at 1398 South 2nd Street, open 3 p.m. to 4 a.m. 7 days a week. Get your asses out to the Mag Bar. Rock out. For 45 years in keeping Louisville weird, Electric Ladyland has been there for all your eccentricities. While they do offer the best smoking supplies out on the market today, there's a whole lot more to check out. From ashtrays and blacklight posters, to records, incense and burners, and items to stock your metaphysical supply. They are open from 10 to 10, 7 days a week. Located at 2325 Bardstown Road in Louisville, Kentucky, and at electricladyland420.com. Roll out. In 2017, one man's vision and passion for all things metal started out as a record store in his house. Years later, the fight against a mainstream empire continues as Shade Beast. An independent metal collective and online store based in Athens, Georgia, is the world's premier heavy metal brand for music heads that value authenticity over the mainstream acceptance. Featuring original t-shirts from some of the best underground artists, as well as stickers, posters from the Shade Beast Presents concert series.
unique, one-of-a-kind collectibles and small curated selection of vinyl and cassettes from the masters old and new. Visit shadebeast.com and enter promo code SithLord for free domestic shipping on your first order, whether you're a new customer or returning. And be sure to join the Shade Beast social groups on Facebook and the interwebs to keep up with the new release announcements and talk all things metal and Star Wars. You'll never find a more wretched hive of scum and filth.
Welcome to the night. You think you know Night Demon? Then the Night Demon Heavy Metal Podcast is for you. Step into the darkness as we peel back the curtain to give you an unprecedented, all-access look into the mind and the heart of the demon. We're talking band history, song analysis, studio anecdotes, stories from the road. It's everything a diehard Night Demon fan could want and more. This is the only place to learn the inside scoop, the deep dive trivia, the untold tales from the band members themselves and those closest to the Night Demon story. Need more? The Sacred Night Demon Crypt will be pried open to reveal demo recordings that have never before seen the light of day, all with in-depth commentary by the band and the people who were there for the writing and recording process. This is a gold mine, a treasure trove of all things Night Demon. Head over to nightdemon.net or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Since 2013, there has been a calling from the underground, from the graves of all those unholy, and they decided to make a zine to talk about all of this. Soul Grinder Zine! An independent metal zine to keep you informed on all things metal and horror from the underground. Available in both print and digital formats, they're bringing you the best interviews and reviews out there today. Not only do they do the zine, but they also do compilation CDs. Check them out at facebook.com/soulgrinder.zine and start your subscription now.
Hey everybody, let me tell you about the new sponsor to the Metal Forge, Unchained Tapes. They're an independent Pennsylvania tape label. They focus on extreme metal and punk with a killer approach to the tape scene. Visit their web store at unchainedtapes.bigcartel.com now to get your fill of tapes. And for being a Metal Forge listener, enter the code METALFORGE10 at checkout to get a 10% discount on your total purchase. That's unchainedtapes.bigcartel.com.
What's up, Metal Forge fans? This is Alan Bishop, the alchemist of Indiana's Black Forest and head distiller at Spirits of French Lick. Do you find yourself drawn to the unexplained, fascinated by the Fortean, or enchanted by the paranormal? If the things that go bump in the night resonate in your mind, then tune into my brand new podcast, If You Have Ghosts, You Have Everything. Featuring first-hand accounts, collected stories, interviews, history, and speculation related to all things not of this world. Available now on Anchor, Spotify, Google, Amazon, and more. Set back, relax, and remember, if you have ghosts, you have everything.
Hey, let me tell you guys about Mercenary Press. They're an independent London label and distributor of all things metal. Mercenary Press delivers the goods from their own independent zine. Trust me, you're going to want to get in on that. To distributing various bands from all over the world, including Cramp from Spain and Sadistic Force from Texas. Visit mercenarypress.bigcartel.com to find out what all they have in stock
and what you can order. And for Metal Forge listeners, enter code METALFORGE10 to receive a discount on your total purchase at mercenarypress.bigcartel.com. Check it out now.
Hey Metalheads, it's with great pleasure I get to tell you guys about a new sponsor to the Metal Forge, Ageless Art, New Albany. After 20 years of owning and operating Ageless Art in Clarksville, Indiana, Phil Garrett had a vision for a new type of tattoo studio. Something that is clean and modern, sleek, refined, inviting. And he's done just that with Ageless Art in New Albany. You can find it at 2736 Charlestown Road, New Albany, Indiana, 47150. Business hours are Monday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Sundays are 12 to 6. All sessions are appointment only, so give them a call and go get you some new ink. Or if it's your first time, go get your first one, baby.
In a broken wasteland, come to my fire and place your blood and steel upon my pyre.